Hey friends, it's Laura. Welcome or welcome back. So today is finished pages day, and I actually have a fair amount to show you. These are not all from April. The title is going to say April because the majority of them are from April, but there's a few scattered in here that are from earlier months that I just don't think I was recording at the time, and I don't think I showed anything. So if I did, I apologize, but this is how we're going to do it. So let me say hi to my cat. Sweetie. He just came in for a little pet. My baby. Okay. Now, let's start with Johanna Bassford's Small Victories. So this page I had already done previously in last year, and then I went and did this page to kind of match, but I was using different pencils. This page was Crayola, hence they're much, much lighter, and I've come to realize that if you don't press very hard, Crayola pencils are really like pastel pencils. I mean, they're very light. I don't tend to press very hard, so that's how they came out for me. They came out like pastel pencils. But I tried to match the colors in here. And then I still need to go back and do this. I didn't realize when I was doing that this page is the exact same motif. So I need to go back and do that as well. Maybe like with the orange ones to match. And then I went ahead and did the next page. As you can see, it's very gold. I used gold watercolor, and for the details in here, which aren't as shiny, they're gold gel pen. They're still shiny. The details in there and some of the details on the moths, those are gold gel pen because the spaces were just too tiny for the watercolor. The rest of this is Crayola color pencil, hence being, again, very pastel. And oh, now he's eating. Sorry, I'm easily distracted. And but I love the gold paint on here. This is gold. Hang on. If you have like Coliro, it's the same thing. I have Fine Tech, and it's this one right here, which I don't know what the names are of these. I do have a replacement for this one in the Coliro, but I'm pretty sure these are the same company, Fine Tech and Coliro. And but it's very nice. It's nice and gold. It actually looks much better on the computer screen. It's a little patchy in person. But there's that one. That one was done in April, and this one was done in April. And then what do I have marked? Oh, I wanted to do the summer wreath. So that's probably next. Okay. And then this is from last year. This is from August. And I showed it on my Instagram, but I don't remember if I showed it on a video. But I finished this page just with colored pencils. This is out of Autumn Harvest by Teresa Goodridge. And then I started that one. But that's as far as I got. What else did I want to do? Well, I wanted to do the kitty one. But I like how this one turned out. I like my pumpkins and the little fields and the flowers. And I'm going to take that off. Next is 50 Springtime Mandalas by Kamalia Angelkova. I did this one for Easter. I did this in April. This was with a mixture of fine liners and Tombow dual tip markers, brush markers, and then some gold details. I don't know if you can see the gold or not. Yeah, some gold details. The fine liners were taking forever. I don't have that much patience. So I ended up going with the Tombow dual brush pens and using the mostly the bullet nib because it was bigger than the fine liners. So that was done just before Easter. Out of Whimsical Wonders. Was that an untouched book? No. Okay. Out of Creative Haven Whimsical Wonders by Marjorie Sarnat. This is a compilation book of Fanciful Sea Life, Magnificent Mermaids, and Magical Fairies. So I did this one. This was done with the Zig, hang on, with these, the Zig Clean Color Real Brush, and I have a clear acrylic block that you use for stamping, and you take the pen cap off and you brush some on, and then you get a water brush and use it like a watercolor. So I did that. You can of course just go straight onto the paper with those as well. I happen to like the watercolor look of them. There's some fine liners kind of strewn about. There's a pencil in the background for the sunrise, and I just like how this one came out. It's definitely got that watercolor look, which I love. Paper held up pretty well. It's a little wrinkly, but I think it held up pretty well, all things considered, the amount of water I was putting on here. My other two options for this book were this beautiful page here and this page here. So I might go back and do one of those. Maybe this one. So we'll see. That was an untouched book. Next, I'm going to take that one off. Next, we've got Coco Wow Stress Relief, and as you can see, I worked in this a lot. So I did, this was just all with Crayola Super Tips. I started off in this book using alcohol markers, and I was like, I really prefer the Super Tips. I know they're streaky, but I had fun. And then I also used, in this book, I also used my metallic acrylic paintbrush pens, which are not so metallic. There's a little bit of the silver in here. They're not really very metallic, but I was just using them like in, there you go, you can see the silver on the bottom of the trailer right there. I tried my hand at making some little patterns like in the dirt and then stuff like that. These were all in April. So I don't know how many completed pages I have total. I didn't count. I will go back and count at the end and add it to my coloring diary. This one had a lot of the metallic, but you really can't see. There's a little bit on the silver there. I used some of the purple metallic on here, some of the blue metallic and pink metallic. I like the strawberry house. I think it's really cute. I used a lot of the metallic on this page. The only one you're really seeing is the silver. I used the pink metallic around here. I use the gold metallic on the sewing machine, and some silver over here too, and some red metallic on the thread. Like how the sewing machine came out. I like this little guy. I used some of the gold metallic on the stars and some white gel pen in the background for the little stars. For the cloche, I used white gel pen on the butterfly and on some of the black lines in here. White lines over here on the cafe board. White up here, silver on the moon, white on the fire, and then these trees back here are green metallic. I think the metallic was the tan mitt. I don't have it here with me, but I think it's the tan mitt metallic. They were quite inexpensive. I like this one. Cow being beamed up. I used a lot of metallic on the UFO. I tried some little dots and stuff on the grass down here. Not really much of a pattern person, so that was, you know, just my attempt at trying to add something. This one is nice. This one's got metallic, hang on, got metallic gold or copper, whatever, on the outside. I like this one. I had a lot of fun coloring in this book. I just took out the markers and went to town. Really, I was not really thinking about results. Did a little work on the sand down here. I was just thinking about having fun and de-stressing. Did my rainbow windmill, which I thought was kind of cute. And then lastly, the froggy sipping his drink in his blanket. The other two pages that I've done in here, three. I've done this one, that was with alcohol markers. That was a while ago. I don't know when that was. That was last year. Did that one with alcohol markers. That one with alcohol markers. That one with alcohol markers. That might have been it. And that one with alcohol markers, and I smudged down there. So most of this book is water-based markers, and it is definitely kind of showing that it is. But I've had a really good time with it. So that was Coco Wild's Stress Relief Bold and Easy Coloring Book. Do recommend that one. Then we've got 50 spring, take that out, 50 spring miniatures by Kamala Angelkova. And I did this one in April, also kind of for Easter. It's the front cover, so I took heavy inspiration for colors from the front cover. I just, especially for like some of the flowers. The bunny is different, and everything's different because I was using, this is digitally colored, and I was using, this is all Crayola Super Tips. So, I believe. Or was this Tombow Dual Brush Pens? I can't remember. Should have written it down. That one might have been Tombow Dual Brush Pens. Anyway, I did enjoy that one. That was not an uncolored book. So I already have that. Next up, Enchanted Creatures by Lolita Iyer. This was an untouched book. And I did the elephant, the elegant elephant. This is all done. Missed some spots here too. This was all done in, there's a lot of fine liner stuff going on. This was all done in watercolor. The page is pretty warped. The background's pencil. I went over with pencil on some of these things. I was trying to decide what watercolor it was. I can't remember. And then over with fine liners for some other things, and some gel pens for the hummingbirds and butterflies. And then in the background you can see the gold on the elephant and the silver little bubbles that are around him, around her. Those are the Fine Tech watercolors. So that was a fun one. It only went through a little bit on the back right here, so I didn't actually get to the next page. I was going to say that some of them I got a little too much water on, but I think it turned out really nice. I'm really happy with it. So some of this is kind of some pencil over, like mainly shading on the elephant, and some fine liner detail on the elephant to make these Zendoodle bits stand out a little bit. But yeah, I think it turned out great. My other ones picks for in here were the dragonfly, the seals, the dolphins, and the swan. So I'll have to go back to this book and do some other ones. Take this one off. Next up is a new book. That was an uncolored book. This was an uncolored book because it's brand new. Cottage Friends, Cute and Cozy Coloring Book by Jeanette Veronica. This is a full book whip at this point because I've gone and colored in all the little animal friends in all of their respective colors. This is always Crayola Super Tips. So now all I need to do is, I can go in and just pick a page and not have to worry about color continuity. And so I did do this page in April. Can't remember when I did this page. That was in April too. This little bear with her flowers coming away from a little cottage. I think it's so cute. Again, this is just all Crayola Super Tips. I added some little flowers to the grass with white gel pen and some little green bits. I added a thatched roof. But yeah, it was just an easy page with Crayola Super Tips, and now I can just go through the book and, pick out whatever page I want and not have to worry about coloring the animals. So that was fun. That was Cottage Friends by Jeanette Veronica. This was another untouched book. It was brand new. Simple Art Bold Easy Coloring Book by Coco. I only did the nameplate page. But I love this book because everything's like in a border. So this is going to be fun. So it's very much like the stress relief book, but I just did the nameplate page. I think those houses turned out nice. Another untouched book, because it was new, was Peachy Pie, Fairy Tales and Folklores, Coloring Book Volume 2. I did the front one, which is the front cover, Thumbelina. I kind of followed the colors a little bit. I know this is digitally colored, so it does not look the same as like with Crayola Super Tips, but I like how it turned out. I'm happy with it. I thought about going back with pencil and doing some shading, but decided that I didn't need to. It's okay. It's fine the way it is. So that was Fairy Tales Volume 2 by Peachy Pie. That was done in April 2. And then this one, Forest Dreams by Coloring Book Cafe. This was done in March. I showed this on my Instagram, but I just don't think I showed it anywhere else. A lot of this is just pencil, but some of it has alcohol marker as a base, which I kind of regret because now I'm worried it's going to like yellow the next pages, like this, mainly this red. But it did turn out nice. These leaves are all just pencil, and the stems. The background is watercolor, hence the wrinkliness of it. But I liked the like multi-tone background that it gave. The crystals, I did my best. I'm not very good at crystal coloring, but I did my best. I think they turned out nice. And then the snail is a gel pen shell. So that was fun. Forest Dreams. That was an untouched book. This was an untouched book, Cosmic Ocean by Ava Brown. I did this page. And this was with a lot of markers, like, I put them away already. I think they were like the Ohuhu water-based markers, like the dual brush, like the brush on one end and the fine liner on the other. The background is crayon, like pearl crayon, I think. And then the interesting part about this is that you can see like a lot of the gold and silver is like speckled. It's because I put the crayon down first and I was really not thinking about how wax is a resistor and the watercolor wouldn't go on top of it correctly. So that's why like some spaces like this are really like patchy like that. Although I think it turned out really cool. So that might be a technique that I use in the future on purpose. To kind of get that patchy, bubbly look. So anyway, so there's something, in case you wanted something else to do with your watercolors, you could go over crayon with them. They end up kind of cool. But this was done in April. This was just a fun page, quick and easy page. Yeah, this is a fun book. Although I have to say it is a lot of repetitiveness, and I'm not sure how far I'm going to get, but it is beautiful. So that was Cosmic Ocean by Ava Brown. Next I pulled out Color Me Calm illustrated by Angela Porter. And I did this page, and this was just kind of an experimenting page. Kind of messy. This was also in April. the leaves, like the base of the leaves, like the light green, the dark purple, the pink, the dark green, is those Zig clean color real brush markers. And those are colored straight without any water. So they are very bright when they're colored straight. On the edges of all the leaves and in the background is metallic pen, that tan metallic pen. There's orange watercolor on the outside, metallic watercolor, and then the veins of the leaves and these little berry bits are all colored with Jelly Roll Moonlight pens, I think. So that was just an experiment. You know, this book is kind of fun just for that. But I haven't colored much in here. There's only a few that I've done. I don't know where they are, but needed to get another one done in here. So that was Color Me Calm. And the last completed page is 50 Diminutive Spring Scenes to Color by Kamalia Angelkova. This was also an untouched book, and I did the first page aside from the nameplate page. The first page, which is the cover, so I took serious inspiration from the cover, and I think it turned out great. This is with Tombow dual brush pens. And I just think it turned out really nice. I mean, you can tell like where there's no blending, obviously, because I just used different colors, or I went over with the same color again to get it to be darker. But I really enjoyed how it turned out. You know, for just being water-based markers, I think it turned out pretty good. So that was in April, and then I've got a couple whips. I'll take that back. I have one more finished page. It's a double page spread. And it is from Kanoko Agusa's, I think it's Kingdom of Curious Creatures. And this was all done with Inktense. There's no pencil on top of any of this. I did a little tutorial on my channel about how to get this background. The bubbles are metallic watercolor, like our Arteza metallic watercolor. So yeah, that was the final double page. That was the double page spread that I did. This was, I didn't mark it. Yes, I did. This was in March. So that was, put this back in there. That was, that took a while. But I think it turned out really nice. My book is a little warped. Okay. Now on to whips. This is my most recent whip. This is in Johanna Bassford's Magical Jungle. This is with Tombow dual brush pens. I'll take a drink real quick. Okay. That's all it is so far is Tombow dual brush pens. I might go back over with pencil for some of this when I'm done. We'll see how I feel about it when I'm done. We'll see. So, but I'm enjoying it so far. I'm using a color palette that I found on Google, kind of a tropical color palette, which excludes purples. So I don't know if I'm going to add a purple back in. This is already a little purple. It's kind of a blue purple for the inside of the Birds of Paradise. But I'm enjoying this. It's just slow. I find it difficult with all the details to get in there with the brush pen. as opposed to like a really sharp pencil. But I like the full cover, the bright full coverage that the pen gives. With my tremor, I find it difficult to get into the details and not get outside the lines, like especially with these like leaves, with the little bitty leaf stems. I am finding it a bit difficult, but I do enjoy how it's looking, so I think I'll probably keep up with it and then maybe go over with pencil when I'm done. So that was stickies all over the place. That was Johanna Bassford's Magical Jungle. And then this has been a whip for a little bit. I even started coloring the cover with the pen that I was using, which is right here. It's this page. This is not the only maze page in this book, I don't think. No, see, there's this one too. But I saw somebody color this on like Google, I think, or Pinterest, or I don't go on Pinterest. Where would I have seen it? I don't even know where I saw it, but it was this page with a hedge. And when I got to this page and I found it, I was very disappointed to find that there was not already a box hedge here. That this was just like this. It was just leaves. And so I've created my own box hedge with a ruler and this fine liner, and then places like here I've gone and made like a bumpy line as opposed to like here where it's straight. I've made a little bumpy line so it's kind of irregular, so I need to do that for all of those sections too, but it's just tedious. It kind of cramps up my hand trying to get in all these little spaces, but I am almost done. And then I will move on to the either watercolor or pencil pathway, because the pathway in the picture I saw, which I don't even have the picture anymore. I didn't save it, I just saw it and I just liked the way it looked, so I'm kind of basing it off of what little memory I have. Because if you've been here a while, you know my memory is shot, so I just, this is fun. I had like a dirt pathway with like green on either side of it, you know, like a worn pathway. So I'm gonna do that, probably with watercolor, because I think that would give it a really good blendable look. Because I'm not too good with pencils with stuff like that. So with irregularity with pencils, like you could get with a watercolor. So this is going to take a while, but I'm almost done. So I'm almost done with the hard part. The pathway will be easy. And this is only the second ever page that I've done in this book. The first page was this one, and that was back in 2019. So, you know, it's good to have another page done in this book. So I'll keep working on that. That's Secret Garden. Okay. This is a whip from Life of Witches, which is Usiku's 3-book compilation of her witches books. And this was an untouched book, and this was the only page that I had worked on, and it's almost done. I mean, like, it's really almost done. So this is all just pencil. I wasn't feeling like doing anything. I was just feeling like straight coloring. I was not feeling like blending and making it look really good, honestly. So this is all just pencil in colors that I liked, and I need to finish this green over here and maybe that hanging pot and their outfits and the cat. And then I think what I'm going to do is all these little leaves and stems and vines and leaves on the roof. I think I'll go in with gel pen. Like, maybe I did just acquire, they didn't end up in a haul, but I did just acquire a lot of the Languo gel pens, so I think maybe I'll go in and do some gel pen work on like the finer details, like the wreath and everything. It's a cute book. I happen to like the this back section the best, which must be the third book, because it's got thicker line art. See, all the rest are much thinner. Nothing wrong with that. I just happen to like the thicker line art. I feel like I'm not going to go outside the lines as much then. So that's a whip from last year around fall. And then this is a new whip. This is the Coloring Book of Scotland by Elie Muldoon. And this was an untouched book. And it's a double page spread, as are, I think, every single page in this book. And this is Abbotsford, and it's beautiful. I've looked up what this place looks like, and it's a beautiful rendition of it. I'm doing watercolor because I just feel like that would be fun. I haven't gotten very far. I'm using the Sakura Koi watercolors. There's my greens. There's my messy palette. I'm a messy painter. I've also had this for a really long time. That was like my first watercolor palette, you know, real watercolor palette. So it is cheaper paints. It's very chalky, but it's a coloring book. It doesn't matter. So I did enjoy how this is turning out. I'm doing lighter colors in the front and darker colors in the back. There's not a huge difference, but there is more yellow in the front here. And then I'll go back and do the flowers and the castle and, you know, everything else. So this is a beautiful book, and I'm having a really good time with it. I like that there's detail, but there's not too much detail. Like all these big swirls, I'm not going in and coloring each swirl by itself. I'm just kind of doing it as a broad swath of color. So I think this will be a fun page when it's done. But the only problem with this is that to do watercolor, I need to be at my desk. And most of my coloring time is in the evening in bed. So I need to make time during the day to spend time at my desk coloring and not just doing other work. So watercolors definitely should not be done in bed. I don't think that's a good idea. I could see myself getting paint all over my bedding, and it's just, I know it's watercolor, so it should come out, but you know, I don't want to mess with that. So watercolors are going to stay at the desk. So that is it for my finished pages and my current whips. That is not to say I don't have other whips. They are just buried away on the bookshelf. You know, I have no idea where they are. And I'll come across them again someday. But these are my currently acquired whips. So thank you all for watching. I hope you're all having a wonderful time coloring. Wonderful time in general, even if you're not coloring. My next video will be coloring plans for May. I haven't done one of those in a while, and it's Mermay, which I've never participated in, but I'm going to this year. And yeah, so I will see you all again very soon. Bye.